Good morning from Beijing. You're watching The World Today on CGTN. I'm Zhao Yang. Authorities from northern China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region are briefing the media on their work in promoting high-quality development. The goal is to build a model autonomous region in all aspects. So we are going live to the scene to hear their comments on that.
女士们、先生们，大家上午好！欢迎出席国务院新闻办新闻发布会。今天我们举行推动高质量发展系列主题新闻发布会的第28场。我们邀请到内蒙古自治区党委副书记、自治区主席王立霞女士。
Wang Lixia to brief you on high-quality development and build a model autonomous region of Inner Mongolia and take your questions. Also with us today are Executive Vice Governor Mr. Huang Zhiqiang, Vice Governor Mr. Yang Jin, Director General of the Development and Reform Commission of Inner Mongolia, Mr. Gong Mingzhu. Now first, some opening remarks from the Governor. Press from the media, good morning. It's my great pleasure to meet you all. First of all, on behalf of the Party Committee and Government of Inner Mongolia and people of all ethnic groups, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to all friends who have cared for, supported, and assisted Inner Mongolia development. Last June, General Secretary Xi Jinping inspected Inner Mongolia for the fourth time, encouraged us to focus on high-quality development and blaze new trails on Chinese modernization. This has inspired the enterprising spirit of the officials and people. Last year, the State Council also unveiled an opinion on promoting high-quality development and writing a new chapter of Chinese modernization in Inner Mongolia. This has provided important policy and historic opportunities to Inner Mongolia. Out of the important addresses and instructions made by General Secretary, we see two major focuses. One is to accomplish 5 major tasks, namely to build Inner Mongolia into an important ecological safety barrier in North China, the security and stability barrier of China's northern borders, an important national energy and strategic resource base, a national agricultural and livestock product production base, and an important bridgehead for China's opening to the north. The other task is to build a model autonomous region on all fronts. Now the entire region bears in mind the instructions and forges ahead with gratitude. We focus on the two objectives and make every effort to promote high-quality development. We see vitality and prosperity in this beautiful region in northern China. It is my great honor to take this opportunity to introduce today's Inner Mongolia to you all. Inner Mongolia boasts the magnificent natural scenery. It is the largest province in China in terms of the east-west span, with a straight line distance of about 2,400 kilometers from east to west. The sun rises in Hulenburg in the east, and it takes 2 hours to reach Ejina Banner in the west. Spread across an area of 1.18 million square kilometers, Inner Mongolia features vast forests, vast grasslands, vast wetlands, and vast deserts. The well-known lyrics, "Beautiful grassland is my home. The wind blows green grass and flowers boom. Butterflies flutter and birds sing, and a curve of green water reflects the evening glow." This provides a vivid depiction of Inner Mongolia's natural scenery. Inner Mongolia has the momentum of accelerating its development. And over the past 2 years, The region has expedited its development, with major economic indicators growing at a pace that ranks among the top in the country. Last year, the growth rates of regional GDP, fixed asset investment, and imports and exports all ranked among the top 3 in the country. The growth rate of added value of industries above designated size ranked 7th. A large number of long-term and sound projects have been implemented. This year, we have deployed and implemented 6 projects, namely the Policy Implementation Project, the Sand Control and Wind Power and Photovoltaic Integration Project, the WARMS Project, the Integrity Construction Project, and Science and Technology Breakthrough Project, and Free Trade Zone Creation Project. These projects are aimed at filling the shortcomings in high-quality development and accelerating our progress towards the goal of blazing new trails and moving up to the middle ranks. Inner Mongolia has the beauty of stunning transformation in high-quality development. It is rich in resources. We see it has forest in the east, iron in the west, grain in the south, and pastures in the north. In fact, it has treasures on the ground and in the air. On the ground, Inner Mongolia has the #1 reserves of 21 minerals. It is known as the nation's mineral granary. On the ground, the area of cultivated land, grasslands, and forests rank among the top in the country. In the air, the potential for wind and solar energy development ranks #1 and #2 nationwide. These abundant resources are the solid foundation and huge advantage for Inner Mongolia's development. Based on our resource endowment and the strategic positioning given by General Secretary Xi Jinping, we have meticulously developed 8 industrial clusters and 16 key industrial chains, including new energy, new chemicals, new grain and agricultural husbandry products, and also rare earth new materials and coal chemicals have established a foothold nationwide. We know brands such as Mengniu, Erdos, and Yili have also gone global. Inner Mongolia has a harmonious beauty of mutual support and assistance among people of different ethnic groups. Since ancient times, multiple ethnic groups have lived and interacted on Inner Mongolia Plateau. Since the establishment of the autonomous region 77 years ago, officials and people have united as one and long maintained the honorable title of Mosel Autonomous Region. Nowadays, there are 56 ethnic groups living in Mongolia. They live in the same village, community, business, or class. They live, study, and work together. People of all ethnic groups are just like seeds of pomegranates that are tightly held together. Inner Mongolia has the modern beauty of a shared, convenient life. Although the region is located in a northern frontier, the people of all ethnic groups have also led a modern life. Now, it takes only 2 hours by high-speed rail to reach Beijing from Huhat and Chifeng and from Tongliao. Now, people of all ethnic groups can enjoy the service of highway and highway above Grade 1. People of all ethnic groups can go to school, see a doctor, no matter where they live. smart household appliances, broadband networks, and express delivery and takeaway services have all entered grasslands and become parts of people's daily lives. And people can use mobile phones to herd livestock and film short videos. I will end up here. My colleagues and I are ready to take your questions. Thank you. Now the floor is open, and please identify your media affiliation.
左边第一排这位女士。
Xinhua News Agency. Just now, Governor Wang said Inner Mongolia need to accomplish 5 major tasks. I know this is a strategic positioning of Inner Mongolia. Could you brief us the progress of accomplishing these 5 tasks?
Thank you for asking. I will answer this question. The 5 major tasks are set by General Secretary Xi Jinping from country's development. It is an important strategic positioning for Inner Mongolia and also our important mission. These 5 major tasks point to safeguarding 5 areas of security for our country, namely food security, industry security, energy security, ecological security, and border areas security. Inner Mongolia is an important shield for security, ecological security for China's north. The ecological conditions in Inner Mongolia not just bear on the subsistence and development of all ethnic groups across the region, but also on the ecological security of China's north, northeast, and northwest, and also security of the country. These years, we have prioritized ecological and environmental protection, and we implement spring rest grazing and grazing exclusion with subsidies for herder households, and we ban all commercial logging of natural forests in Daxing Valley. In the past, logging workers have all become rangers, and we plant sand-fixing trees and grass along edges of key deserts. Over the past decade, planted trees, grass, and the scale of sand prevention and control ranked first in the country. The coverage of grass vegetation has been 45%, and certified and sandified land decreased by over 40,000 square kilometers, and we have achieved the historical reversion of sandification and desertification. Inner Mongolia is also a shield for security and stability for China's northern border. Inner Mongolia borders Russia and Mongolia with a borderline of over 4.3 thousand kilometers and the border management zone with an area of over 360,000 square kilometers. And we shoulder an important mission in safeguarding national security and border tranquility. Over the years, we have ensured local stability, boosted local economy, and raised local livelihood standards, and delivered beauty, stability, and prosperity for the people and the region. Inner Mongolia is also an important base for China's energy and strategic resources. We have prioritized safeguarding China's energy security. The supply of coal and electricity generated ranked first in the country. Last year, Inner Mongolia delivered 945 million metric tons of coal to 29 provinces. Electricity delivery exceeded 306.5 billion kilowatts, triple the electricity generated by the 3 gorges dam in a year. Especially, 23 billion cubic meters of natural gas was delivered to the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, and over 100 million kilowatt hours of green electricity light up the Asian Games in Hangzhou. Inner Mongolia is also the country's important base for agricultural and livestock products. Inner Mongolia is an important animal husbandry provider with products of beef, mutton, milk, and cashmere, ranked first in the country. Every 1/10 of beef, every 1/5 of mutton and every 1/6 of milk, over 1/6 of milk, as well as over half of cashmere are produced in Inner Mongolia. Inner Mongolia is also a major grain-producing province and is one of the country's 5 provinces with farmlands of over 66.7 thousand square kilometers. For 5 years in running, we have exceeded grain output of 35 million metric tons, and every year half of them was delivered to other regions across the country. Metaphorically speaking, Inner Mongolia is our country's granary, meat bank, milk churn, and capital of Kashmir. And our mission is to deliver more quality grain, milk, and meat to the Chinese people. Inner Mongolia is also an important buttress for China's opening up to the north. Inner Mongolia boasts 20 ports, in which Manzhouli is China's largest land port, receiving 65% of land trade between China and Russia. 二连浩特 is also familiar with you all, and this is China's largest land port to Mongolia. Over the years, we have actively engaged in Belt and Road building and the building of China-Mongolia-Russia economic corridor. Last year, total trade volume was up by 30.4%, ranking third across the country. And the Inner Mongolia handled over 100 million metric tons of trade, a record high. Next question. CCTV asking, last year, State Council issued an opinion on developing high-quality development and Chinese path to modernization for a new era in Inner Mongolia. So how the people can benefit from the policy implementation?
Let me invite Executive Vice Governor Wang Lixia. Thank you for your question. Last year, the State Council unveiled this opinion. Relevant ministries adopted supporting policies. They are policy packages tailored to Inner Mongolia. They are highly effective and targeted. These policies cover five categories of infrastructure, energy and resources, ecological environment, industrial development, and people's livelihood. Sound implementation of these policies would have far-reaching impact on realizing high-quality development and writing a new chapter of Chinese modernization in Inner Mongolia. We have seized this important development opportunity and implement a policy implementation program. We have detailed this opinion into 86 major projects to transform this blueprint to a working plan. Up to now, a total of 59 major projects start construction with a total investment of over 135 billion RMB yuan. And important and orderly progress has been made in different areas. In this process, people can also feel the benefits. For example, in terms of transport, we are expediting the development of high-speed railway from Baotou to Yinchuan. Upon operation, the time to transport from Bayanur to Beijing would be shortened from 13 hours to 4 hours. We have optimized the layout of airports, expedited the development of general airports, and provide branch-to-branch airline service so that our people, although the people are living in remote areas, they can still enjoy these services. In terms of employment, we are planning 6 large-scale wind power and PV bases in deserts, Gobi area, and wasteland. and with a total static investment of over 80 billion RMB yuan, and each can provide over 10,000 job opportunities for local areas. In terms of rural revitalization, we are building a batch of national-level modern agricultural industrial park. The newly established dairy and soybean industrial park in Molidava, our autonomous banner, would increase the incomes of the neighboring 50,000 farmers' households. In terms of the border areas development, we implement the upgrading program of villages' infrastructure in border areas. We conducted integrated development of water, electricity, road, and communication in border areas so that people can have access to drinking water, electricity, communication, and TV and radio services in villages, border posts, and police stations. In terms of medical services, we are moving faster to build 4 medical centers. We are cooperating with the Peking University Tumor Hospital and have established a Inner Mongolia branch. Now people can enjoy high-level medical services from Beijing experts. Thank you.
好，请大家继续提问。那左边第2排吧。
谢谢主持人，香港中评社记者提问。
Inner Mongolia is an important juncture on building the China-Mongolia-Russia economic corridor and important gateway for building the new land sea trade corridor. What are some considerations on promoting high-level opening up and serving the overall national opening up? Thank you. I will take this question. Inner Mongolia is in the northern area of China. It is at the frontier of opening to the north. It has unique strengths of opening up in recent years with the implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative and the China-Russia-Mongolia Economic Corridor. The cooperation with those neighboring countries have been expanded. Among the country's 3 China-Europe freight train channels, the eastern and central 2 channels exit from Inner Mongolia's Manzhouli and Arlianhot. And nearly half of the country's China-Europe freight trains will depart and pass from Inner Mongolia in 2023. The Manzhouli port is the largest land port in China, opening to Mongolia. And we are promoting the smart and intellect services and operation to ensure the smooth running of China-Europe freight train railway. At the same time, we are accelerating the development of smart ports in Manzhouli and Arlianhot and implement a new model of automated guide unmanned cross-border transport. In Zirka ports, not long ago, the China-Mongolia Arlianhot Zemenwood Economic Cooperation Zone was officially approved. It is the 3rd cross-border economic cooperation zone established between China and neighboring countries. We will promote the development of cross-border tourism, multi-service industries, international trade, and logistics in a way to build this economic cooperation zone into a high-level platform for opening up. We are accelerating the development and cooperation with countries along the Belt and Road in agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, energy, and mineral resources, digital economy, biomedicine, and infrastructure. We will accelerate the integrated development of domestic and foreign trade, strengthen cooperation and interaction with the Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei region, the Yangtze River Delta, the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, and the 3 northeastern provinces. Improve mechanisms for Beijing-Mongolia cooperation, and accelerate the development of demonstration zones for industrial location. At present, Tianjin, Hebei, and other places have established 25 inland ports in Inner Mongolia, so that our businesses in Inner Mongolia have more access to the sea at their doorstep. We We'll continue to rely on platforms such as the China-Mongolia Expo, the national opening to the North Economic Trade Fair, and the Mongolian Business Silk Road Tour to accelerate the construction of a high-level opening up working pattern to facilitate a higher level and larger scale opening up. Thank you. Next question, please. Inner Mongolia has rich wind power and solar power, has unique strengths in developing new energies. How will Inner Mongolia promote high-quality development of new energy industries?
I will invite Mr. Zhiqiang to answer this question. As you mentioned, Inner Mongolia has unique strengths in developing new energy industries. Metaphorically speaking, we have wind and sunshine in the air, coal underground, and grid on the ground. Wind and sunshine means Inner Mongolia has a rich resources of wind and solar energy. From the amount of development, Inner Mongolia is home to over half of wind energy and over 1/5 of solar energy. Coal underground means that Inner Mongolia has a rich resource of cold storage and a large-scale thermal install capacity, which is an important way of peak load regulation and enables the use of large-scale new energy resources and with high proportion. Grid on the ground means that Inner Mongolia has the third largest grid network in the country, namely the Western Inner Mongolia Grid Network, which can deliver green, cheap, and reliable electricity with shorter distance and at a lower cost. Building on these strengths, we will strive for the green and the new. We have set forth our goals in this regard, including building the first energy supply system with new energy resources as the main part and the new electricity system with new energy as the main part, among the first in the country. By 2025, new energy install capacity will surpass that of thermal power, and by 2030, it will the electricity generated by new energy will surpass that generated by thermal power. Inner Mongolia is the first region in the country to surpass installed new energy of 100 million kilowatt hours. And we will achieve the target ahead of the scheme by this end of the year. In Kubu Banner, Ulanbuhe, and Tengeli deserts, we will concentrate our efforts in developing wind electricity and photovoltaic, which will deliver large-scale clean energy to the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei area and the Yangtze Delta River. And we have also tailored scenarios for consumption and accommodation in local areas, including source-grid local storage, wind and solar hydrogen production, green power supply in parks, and substitution in self-provisioned power plant, and full self-use of generated electricity, and as well as the flexible transformation of thermal power plants. And we seek to strike a balance between new energy, electricity, and the demand for load, so as to achieve the greatest extent of self-consumption and accommodation. At the same time, we develop a whole industrial chain development. We will develop equipment manufacturing industry on the upstream and extend our efforts to develop green hydrogen and ammonia and other green chemicals down the upstream. And also, we have developed supercomputing smart computing to channel more resources from the east to the west, and develop industry production service industries in operation and maintenance. In all, Inner Mongolia boasts great prospects in wind and solar energy, and we hope that we can share this dividend of development. Next question.
谢谢主持人，中国网记者提问。内蒙古是我国
Inner Mongolia
荒漠化的主战场，
is the main field for tackling desertification and also an important region in building the 3 North Shelter Belt Forest Program. Could you introduce the progress in this regard in Inner Mongolia?
Thank you for your question. The 3 North Shelter Belt project has attracted widespread attention. Actually, Inner Mongolia is the main battlefield in this regard. The largest task, the key battles to fight desertification along the Yellow River, Kurchin, and Hunshan-Dake deserts are all in Inner Mongolia. Also, the battle to defend the western edge of the Hexiu Corridor and the Taklamakan Desert involves the Alasa banner. So it is fair to say that 2.5 of the 3 major campaigns are in Inner Mongolia. So we say that Inner Mongolia is the main battleground for China's efforts to combat desertification. Being on the main battlefield means shouldering primary responsibility. Last year, we completed the sand control of 6,333 square kilometers, 1.5 times of the annual plan. By 2030, we will complete the sand control task of 64.7 thousand square kilometers. This would not only provide protective suits to the land, but also create a super carbon pool and pure oxygen for the country. For example, the Maosu Desert is larger than Hainan Island. But now about 80% of it has been transformed into green land, pushing the green area southward by 200 kilometers. The Kubuqi Desert covers 14.1 thousand square kilometers, and more than 40% of it has been covered in grain, making it a global desert ecological and economic demonstration zone as determined by the UNEP. In Dengkou County, which is located on the western edge of the Ulanbuhe Desert, a 154-kilometer long and 100-meter wide forest belt has been built on the edge of the desert. As a result, the desert has retreated 20 kilometers eastward, and also this has reduced the amount of sediment to the Yellow River by more than 90% per year. This year, we have combined desertification prevention control with the development of new energy. We plan to support the installed capacity of new energy of over 100 million kilowatts by 2030. For example, Ordos City, on the northern edge of the Kubuqi Desert, we plan to build a PV Great Wall with a total length of about 400 kilometers and average width of about 5 kilometers. Through our integrated project, we aim to turn this yellow sand to green land and blue ocean. We are also fully mobilizing enterprises, farmers, and social organizations. Now there are dozens of central businesses, state-owned businesses, and private businesses get engaged. And this certification campaign has swept across the entire region. And what various ways have been used to mobilize the participation of the general public. For example, in the Aksakli, where the Bandan, Jarin, Tanger, and Ulanbuhua deserts are located, large-scale and sand-resistant plant production bases such as SCIO, Cistanch, and Sinimokrane have been built, bringing additional income to local farmers and herdsmen. Our goal is not only to complete the major ecological project of the three Norths, but also to make it a development program and a program that benefits the people. In terms of sand, prevention control, and increasing people's livelihoods, and developing new industries. Next question, please.
请稍等。内蒙古广播电视台记者提问：很多人一提到内蒙古，都会想到风吹草低见牛。
Talking about Inner Mongolia, we would think about, wind grass seems lower and the cattle feel free to wander. How will Inner Mongolia promote modernization of agriculture and husbandry industries and high-quality development?
Inner Mongolia is an important agriculture and livestock product provider. Has secured a bumper harvest for the 12th year in a row and stable livestock production in many products for the 19th year in a row. Going forward, we will play on our unique strengths in ecology, environment, and relevant resources to promote Inner Mongolia's transition from a major region of livestock products to a strong region of agriculture and animal husbandry industry in three manners. First is to consolidate the foundation for the development of modernized agricultural and animal husbandry. We will strengthen the agriculture infrastructure building with a focus on farmlands. And we will turn palm fields and steep slopes into large swathes of farmland suitable for farming and with higher yield. Last year, we support 2/3 of green output with some 34,913.3 square kilometers. This year, we will build high-quality farmlands with an area of over 5,666 square kilometers. At the same time, we will strengthen the cultivation projects of distinctive varieties, including corn, potatoes, and sunflowers, and strengthen joint research and development in dairy cattle breeding to provide quality milk, seeds, and grass to the country. Second, we will provide an even more ample livestock products. Last year, the grain output in Inner Mongolia totaled 39.58 metric tons, a million metric tons. This year, we will strengthen yield boosting in products, especially in corn and soybean, so as to lift our total grain output to 40 million metric tons. We will also strengthen the process of livestock products, with an emphasis on both grain, meat, milk, and on rice, husk and grain, and fruit and vegetable dander. And we also encourage enterprises in Inner Mongolia to establish cold chain preservation warehouses in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangdong, Shenzhen, Yangtze River Delta, and Zhujiang River Delta, so as to provide better quality grain, meat, and milk nationwide. Third, we will make our livestock products greener. The water in Inner Mongolia is clean, and the sand is also clean. This is our greatest productive forces and competitiveness. In agriculture, we will promote water-saving projects. Next year, we will increase the high-quality water-saving irrigation area to 25,333 square kilometers from 22,686.7 square kilometers. This will mean that we can save over 3.5 billion cubic meters of water every year. We will also cut down on chemical fertilizers and pesticides. And we will also tackle overgrazing of grassland and achieve the win-win of development and production. Next question.
中间第二排绿色 T 恤这边。
谢谢主持人，我是红星新闻的记者。我的问题是我们关注到内蒙古提出要以非常支持推进科技创新打破常规，在创新
will achieve scientific and technological innovation by breaking new grounds and catching up from behind. What are the key areas to promote industrial upgrade?
Thank you for your question. Inner Mongolia attaches great importance to science and technological innovation and developing new quality productive forces. We are now implementing the technological breakthrough program and focus on areas with resource endowment, distinctive local features, and special strengths to strive for the frontier, to promote the science innovation and industrial development. We focus on innovation based on resource endowment. For example, Inner Mongolia has world-class rare earth resources, both in terms of reserves and quality. Up to now, we have built the most complete industrial chain in China. We aim to build the largest rare earth new material base across China, transform earth to material, get rid of the simple model of digging and selling earth, focus on the 5 industrial chains of permanent magnet, hydrogen storage, catalysis, polishing, and alloying, improve resource utilization and industrial sophisticated processing. To achieve the transition from world-class reserves to world-class industry, we aim to build the world's leading rare earth application base. To focus on material application and utilization, create a national rare earth material innovation center, accelerate cutting-edge technology research, expand rare earth utilization areas, and increase the added value of rare earth products. We focus on innovation based on distinctive features. For example, Inner Mongolia is a major husbandry province. The dairy industry in Inner Mongolia is quite popular across China, and now we have 2 of the world's top 10 businesses. Milk production is the first in the country, and the milk industry output value accounts for more than 1/3 of the country. Focusing on the industrial chain deployment and innovation chain, we have formulated 5 strategic goals of Chinese cattle, Chinese breeding mold, Chinese raw materials, Chinese equipment, and Chinese standards. Planned 20 research fields and 76 research directions. We focus on innovation based on our strengths. For example, Inner Mongolia has special advantages in developing new energies, so we can achieve the upgrading of energies. In terms of wind and PV energy, we promote the iterative upgrade of equipment manufacturing, the onshore wind turbine with the world's largest impeller diameter and the largest single capacity got out of
stock in Mongolia. Its diameter is 240 meters, equivalent to 70 floors, a maximum power of 11 megawatts, rotating 1 hour to emit green electricity 10,000 degrees, which is equivalent to the consumption of 12 families 1 year. In terms of power grid, we built the Inner Mongolia base of Huairou Laboratory and Daqingshan demonstration base to place new trails in building these smart intellect systems in this regard. And we also unveiled the piloting program and development of green hydrogen production. By the end of this year, the total production capacity will exceed 100,000 tons, and the new energy storage installed capacity will exceed 10 million kilowatts, and it will become a major province in storing energy and developing energy industries. Next question, please.
谢发言人，中新社记者提问。去年以来，国内不少地区掀起了文旅热潮。
Last year, tourism was quite popular. Inner Mongolia is quite vast, and the beautiful grassland is quite attractive to tourists.
优化服务质量上采取了哪些措施
？What Inner Mongolia has done to attract more and more tourists?
谢谢这位记者朋友的提问。正如您所说，内蒙古幅员辽阔。
As you said, Inner Mongolia is a vast region with many spots. Traveling to Inner Mongolia, you will not just see the big grasslands, but also green forests, big rivers and lakes, big wetland, and big deserts. So Inner Mongolia is one of the best places for driving tours, camping tours, vacation tours, and recreational tours. We have provided the National Highway 331 for driving tourists and other 11 thematic roads. The tourists can drive through grasslands, forests, wetlands, and deserts, and have a sightseeing of grassland in Hulunbuir, forests in Daxing'anling, and wetlands in Ergunao, as well as deserts in Badanjilin. At the same time, we will increase highway capacity 5G signal coverage in scenic spots and build high-grade camp for self-driving tours and residential driving tours, as well as new energy vehicle charging facilities. Today, we also worked with Auto Navy to provide a self-driving platform which can provide tourist analysis and route planning for the tourists. Inner Mongolia is also home to grassland, pastures, mountains, forests, deserts, and oases, as well as rivers and valleys. For example, the volcano geopark in Ulaanbaatar in Ulanqab is known for its natural volcano museum. Its unique landscape is as if we are on the moon or Mars. Camping here, you can explore the mysterious volcanoes during daytime and enjoy the twinkling stars at night. We also have Ulagai grassland, which provides endless verdure and meandering rivers and racing horses. Shan is also added to the list of national resorts. It is beautiful all year round, with spring azaleas, summer trees, autumn leaves, and winter snow. The coverage of green vegetation is as high as 95%, and the rate of good air quality days is over 98%. It is, to all intents and purposes, an oxygen bar in nature. We also give full play to our strengths As retreat from the summer, we give full play to hot spring, sun therapy cream, therapeutic food, Mongolian medicine and healthcare resources, and establish new models as migratory bird model. The summer is coming. We warmly welcome friends across the country. Now is the best season for grassland, and we have prepared the beautiful scenery, food, and wine for our combined journey on the grassland. Next question.
还有2位记者举手哈，中间这位先请。
谢谢发言人。每日经济新闻记者提问。
We know that Inner Mongolia has issued a series of policies and measures to promote the development of private economy, including special service windows and hotlines for private economies. What are the next steps for developing private economy? I will invite Director Gong Mingzhu to answer. Last year, private investment in Inner Mongolia was up by 14.2% year-on-year, ranking first in the country, and total tax revenue accounted for 54% across the region and provided over 90% of newly added employment. So, private economy is an important engine for Inner Mongolia's economic growth, and promoting private economy is a systematic project. We will do as we can to provide the development of private economy on all fronts, and the autonomous region have specially established committee on the development of private economy and party committees in major private enterprises and private economy development service to provide an enabling environment for private economies. In our services, we have provided platforms that can solve the real problems of private economies, as well as service platforms and service windows for major private economies. And enterprises service-related departments at regional, city, and county levels are all established on the platform, so that all firms can have a place to make sure their problems are heard and tackled. And we provide faster services and save all firms from bureaucracies which have been the bugbear for them. And we streamline our services by collecting all relevant and frequent issues in a holistic manner for private enterprises from start to end, and establish a service system for firms from of the entire life cycle. And also we have in place 13 services, including information change and credit restoration. And we are firmer in providing our support for private enterprises. Next, we will soon issue the opinion on the high-quality development of private economy and change our policy of support from massive stimulus to fine-tuning support, especially in terms of access limits and financial difficulties faced by private enterprises. We also have in place credit-building projects to help those honest firms turn credit into real benefits. And also we have debt services based on the evaluation of credit. Now the business environment is better, and we welcome all firms to invest in Inner Mongolia. Last question.
感谢主持人。光明日报记者提问。
Inner Mongolia is now building a model autonomous region on all fronts. What are the typical aspects, and what measures have been taken to promote ethnic unity? As to your question, I would summarize in one sentence, and that is We are a model in the sense that we uphold party leadership. As you all know, Inner Mongolia is the first area with large ethnic minority populations established by the CPC. And we are the first provincial level region with ethnic autonomy established under the direct leadership of the CPC Central Committee. Since its establishment in 1947, Inner Mongolia has all along been supported by the CPC Central Community. As early as during the first 5-year plan period, the first and second machinery factory and the fourth industrial base in Daxing'an were constructed at that time. During the construction of Baogang, within just 8+ months, the first blast furnace was established by over 80,000 experts and workers nationwide. And over the past 77 years, all ethnic groups in Inner Mongolia are grateful for the party and think in bigger terms. I will give some examples. In the early 1960s, people from the grasslands adopted over 3,000 orphans from Shanghai and Jiangsu and other regions. In particular, a mother called Du Guima nurtured 28 orphans all by herself. And such moving stories abound. Some of these orphans have become engineers, doctors, teachers for the country, contributing their share at different posts, now that they are in their 60s and enjoying a happy life with their grandchildren. Another example, in 1958, to support the building of Dongfeng Aerospace City, Ejina banner moved for 3 times, and the banner government was moved to a place of over 140 kilometers away, so as to dedicate the best pastures for the aerospace cause of the country, which has become a much-told tale. Today, the airspace ship set off here and returned to the country here. Our model family in the northern border, despite the severe natural environment, have safeguarded China's border line for half a century and have become the living boundary marker for our country. Since the beginning of the new era, General Secretary Xi Jinping has made 3 inspection tours to Inner Mongolia and has joined in group deliberations of NPC deputies for Inner Mongolia for 5 times. And he is personally engaged in directing and guiding the development of Inner Mongolia. So the development of Inner Mongolia in the new era is attributed to the care and guidance of General Secretary Xi Jinping. Last year, General Secretary Xi Jinping, during his inspection tour in Inner Mongolia, proposed the work of building a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation as the major task of Inner Mongolia. And we have rallied all efforts closely centered around this major task. And we have issued the decision on building a model autonomous region on all fronts, as well as 28 specific measures to implement the building of a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation, as well as some facilitation provisions. We have also established the brand of northern border culture and conducted education and practice campaigns for the people on following and upholding party leadership on a regular basis. Now, all ethnic groups in Inner Mongolia, be it in rural and pastoral areas or urban communities, can all be close friends at heart, friendly neighbors, and can make happy marriages. It is better to see once than to hear for 100 times. We truly welcome friends from all places to come to Inner Mongolia. And I believe the vigorous development and fast changes here will all impress you. I believe the honest, kind, bold, and generous Inner Mongolia people will make you have an unforgettable trip. So much for today's news briefing. Thank you, friends from the media, and thank you, all speakers.